Hi everyone, it's Oz here, 40kmechbuilds. I've been asked a lot to make a tutorial on building crisis suits, so we're just gonna go for it. I've never done it before, so we'll see what happens, see what the quality's like. But if you like it, just let me know and I can see if there's something else I can make from my collection, or I can do some more videos. But yeah, if you enjoy it, just thumbs up and thanks. Okay guys, so what we have here is a pile of bits really, so I'm going to go through them one at a time so you know what everything is. We're going to start off with the standard commander leg components, so we all know what they are. If you play Tau you will anyway, so they're just the standard leg components. We've got two of those. We've got the small groined piece. Working on to the arms, we have old battlesuit arm section. That I believe is a marker drone and just the normal commander hands. So that's pretty much all you need for the hands. Now the torso is a little bit more complex, so I'll try and work my way through these components best as possible. We have the arm joints from the Ghost Keel kit. So these are the little ball joints that go on the arms. I don't know what these are. These like some little fins that I think are from the Commander kit as well. A lot of this is from the Commander kit, so you shouldn't be too hard come by a lot of these. We have the two outer edges of the backpack, jetpack. So these are just the outer piece. No, they're the inner pieces, yeah, because they've got the little nub on. So we got those. Commander thrusters and a shoulder pad. So that's the little back thruster and the shoulder pad. Two Tau plasma rifles, just standard plasma rifles, not the broadside ones. We have a normal head, which is just a Tau head off a battlesuit, crisis, or a broadside, doesn't matter which. These little cylinder units are off of the fusion blasters. Let me move on to these little doodads, and they are from the Ghost Keel's drones. So they are the little sensor pieces that go on the front of the Ghost Keel drones. These are just burst cannon parts. So they are the parts off the burst cannons, dropping them on the floor with the barrels cut off. And the last two pieces, well no, there's a couple more actually. This is off the Ghost Keel, so we're going to be using this as the chest plate, which is part of the sensor array off the arm, as you can see. And that is a broadside knee pad. It's on the knee on the broadside kit. So obviously these are all Tau kits, which makes it nice and easy. And then we've just got some Saar shoulder pads. We have 4 of these. And they're just the little shoulder pads off the broadside. So that's pretty much everything you'll need. I will be using some plastic hard tubing. I use Plastistruct. This is 9.5mm. You don't need a lot of this. You could probably substitute it for something else. And I've also got some other selections of small bits of tubing and little U-shaped pieces, but you can pretty much pick these up at any good hobby store or online. I use Plastistruct because that's what they sell local to me, but Evergreen is another good choice. And what with these, you can make the 2 variants. I won't be going into the weapons because that's up to you what you want to do with the weapons. So you've got the kind of bodyguard style with the air bursts, but I'm not going to go into those. Or we've got the kind of plasma rifle style, more traditional loadout. But it's up to you what you arm them with. I won't be going into weapon options because that's entirely up to you. And that's it for the bits list, really. Like you see, it's mainly Tau commander parts. There's some of these that are a little harder to come by, like the Ghost Keel components. But you should be able to find them about online, so that'd be kind of like what you're looking at out of a Ghost Keel kit, I believe. I think. Yeah, that should be what you get out of a Ghost Keel kit. A lot of you might have these spare. And the rest is mainly commander parts. The hands and the arm sections. The most annoying one is obviously the head, the rounded style heads, because you only get those on crisis teams and broadsides, and that silly little knee pad piece, which you could probably substitute for something else, but I like using them. And that's it for the kit list. And we're going to start off with the Commander backpack. First thing we want to do is remove the two nubs. Get rid of those. Nice and easy. Then remove the smaller ones just below. That'll make it easier. Give those a little file down. Get rid of any bits that are going to get in the way later on. And now we want to cut the bottoms off. So I'll mark these with a Sharpie for you. What we need to do is, there is two lines already here for us. There's like a small diagonal line. So we want to cut just below the engine and then join up with this horizontal line just here. I kind of want to just cut all of this off. So I'm hoping you can see that okay. But I'll cut one off and I'll show you. Okay, so we've done those now. They're all sanded down and at the right kind of shape. They're probably a little skewy, but now on the top of the inside edge, there's a bit of a raised patch, which you either need to sand down or clean off, because it just means that the backpack won't go together correctly. You'll see it kind of leaves a bit of a gap at the top and the bottom, so you'll want to get rid of that. So I'm probably just going to use a hobby knife to trim that down. That's a bit easier. There we go. Give that a little bit of a sand down as well. Now let's try and refit these. Yeah, much better. As you can see, we haven't cut these exactly straight at the bottom, but that's not, it doesn't really matter all that much. We can clean that up in a second. So what I'll do is we just need to glue these together now and level the bottom out, and then we're on to the next step. Okay, next step is to take the Commander shoulder pad. We don't need to do a lot to this, but all I want to do is get rid of the tag logo off the back. And my weapon of choice is just going to go straight and clip it off. Clippers are sharp enough that they should be able to sort it out. Yeah, there we go, nice. And then we'll just give it a little bit of a file. There we go. Need a little bit more of a file than that, I think. Get rid of that cut line out the middle of it. I find the problem with filing this too much is it fills the detailing up. Nothing we can't handle. Yeah, be alright. So we'll take the rest of our shoulder pad, our backpack that we glued together. So you can see I've kind of leveled it off now at the bottom. There you go. And we're going to take our backpack. Well, it's part of the backpack now, but the shoulder pad, the Commander one, and we're just going to pop it over the top like that. So it's sort of, I don't know whether it's upside down or the right way up. But all we're going to do is have it so the thinnest part of it is touching the back of the backpack, with a bit of a gap at the front. And that's relatively easy to glue on. Just plop some down the sides of here because it does contact there. A little bit along the edge. And we'll just plop them on. Oh, come on now. And there's that. So that's the first stage of the backpack done. Okay then, so next stage is to make a start on the chest plate. So we're going to use this kind of range finder sort of thing off of the side of the ghost keel. I think it goes on his arm, along with two of the drone ghost keel parts that sit on the front of the ghost keel drones, and along with this little bit of plasticard tube. This is if you want to use exactly the same stuff as me, but you can pretty much use anything you want. This is about 7mm, between 6.5mm by about 5mm. And all we're going to do with this is glue it directly to the back so as the top is level with the turn there in it. We are going to cut this down, but we'll do that in a minute because we need to know exactly where to cut it down. Tell you what, make it easy, I'll cut it down afterwards. Let's just go for it. I'm just going to put a tiny bit of glue on the back of here. Glue this guy straight on. Same, nice and straight. And then these little stealth generator doodads are going to go straight on the side. But we're going to leave the side with the little nub on it because that actually helps to straighten everything out. What we do is we use this outer edge as a guide to line up with the grey plastic, so everything back from there is in with the white plastic, and it sits, the top of it sits halfway down this first plate, so we do that on both sides. Blue. There we go, and that's that. Okay, so I have cut the excess white plastic off the bottom, so now we've got this nice little shape, which is all good. Right, so next we're going to take the parts of the burst cannons. These are like, should go together like that, yeah, you see how they work. And we're going to cut the cylinder off the back without ruining the rest of it. So I might have to go in all ham there. And there we go, get rid of that, get rid of that. And then this other half has this little bit that sticks down off the bottom. We'll get rid of that. So they're nice and clean. Give them a little file down. Hopefully the camera's coping okay with this. This is my first time doing anything like this. I've had all the parts to build another one of these for quite a while, but just never got around to it. Why not show you guys how to do it yourselves? There is some little nubs on the back of this one that I'm going to have to cut off. Let's just get rid of those. Stab my fingers. Get rid of some of those bits of mould line. Go over there. Okay. So now they're all cleaned up. Okay. So now these just go on the sides. A little bit of glue on there. And these sit just about 1mm below the edge of the stuff suit parts. It should pretty much line them up with the bottom. Should line up flush with the bottom of there. So that's what you're aiming for here, just to be flush with the bottom. Not missed anything there, have I? Nope. There we go. That's that. Let's get rid of that. So there you go. Should start to look like that. Okay guys, so next we're going to take our Tau plasma rifles. I think this is the Commander one and this is a standard Crisis, but it doesn't matter. The only ones to avoid maybe the Riptide or Broadside. One of them's got a chunkier offset part of the main gun, so you want to avoid that one. So what we're going to do, we're going to clip the gun barrels off because we don't need those. We can just get rid of those. There they can go. There we go. Don't need those anymore. Then there's two little kind of nubs underneath the back. They're going to need to come off as well. Get rid of those. There we go. And there's two ridges that stick out the side. They need to go as well. I'm going to get rid of both of those. Sorry, I just realised I'm not central to the camera there, so no good. We've got rid of them. And then the only other one that can stay, if I remember rightly, is the one furthest towards the centre. This one here I believe can stay. Yeah, that one can stay. It might help you out with a bit of rigidity, that one. So you've clipped all those off, so we'll leave those there. Next, we've got this little retro thruster for the Commander. It's a cool little part, but it's got these two little thrusters on, and we just want the two little thrusters. So we're going to get rid of this centre section. There's number one. And number two. So that's those. So we've now got these two little thrusters. Oh god, lose them. I'm just going to file these down quickly, tidy them up a bit. Now all we need to do is pick one of these to be the left hand side and the right hand side. They should be identical, so it shouldn't matter. There we go, nice. Then we're going to take our little retro thrusters, and I need to remember which way these go now. Yep. And we're going to pop a little bit of glue on the back of these. So there we go for the plasma, a little bit of glue on the back. And what we want is the small detailing part to be facing downwards. So we just need to glue that on there, kind of central. We want the edge to line up with the edge of the plasma rifle, so it's flush down the edge. Like that. So there's that one. And we should move on to the other one. Is that good there? Yeah, it's okay. Needs a little bit of a sand. Or file, or whatever you want to call it. Let's pop a little bit of glue on the back of there. And stick this guy on here. Okay, making sure it's nice and level. There we go. So there's those. So we'll wait for those to dry and come back. Okay, so next we want these little fin sections that can't remember what they were from earlier, but I think it's the Commander. They have two little dots at the top edge. So next we're going to be using those. And I'm not going to cut them down yet, I'm actually just going to glue them on first. And what I need to do is just glue them on to sort of cover the side of this white plastic. So they're going to go up against there. Next one's going to go up against there. We're just going to try and make these as straight as possible. And this is really the kind of dodgiest bit of the build. In hindsight, I probably would have bulked this torso out a bit more with a bit more stabilizing bits, but I built 6 of them, maybe 7 now. So yeah, I think this is going to be my 7th. So I just got to keep doing what I'm doing. I'm not going to change it now. It seems to work. they haven't broken or fallen apart, so they're okay. So just glued those on there. We've got these ready to go. And then next we are going to use a small piece of our 9.5 or 3/8 millimeter tubing. We're going to cut about 2 millimeters off the end of this. So we've got a nice little disc. Okay, we've cut off our 3 millimeter disc of that plastic, so we need that in a minute. Next really good thing to do is just test fit this groin section with this white plastic. You can see it fits on there quite nicely. Doesn't overlap it, just sits nicely on top. So we know that's the right size, that's good. Next, we're going to clip these off in line with the edge of the back here. So I'm just going to do that now. There's one. There's two. Forgive me if I've cut these off wrong, but I will fix it. Yeah, looks about right. Okay. Right, next is fitting our plasma engines. So these is where you join the torso. I'll tell you what, we're going to glue this lower ring on first. I'm going to remember exactly where I need to put it before I tell you where to glue it. So I'm just going to splodge some glue on here. The more the merrier. There we go. It literally just comes up to the fronts of the sensor bits on the front of the torso. Just make sure it's nice and center, should be fine. Yeah, close enough. Close enough. So that's nice. Right, let's do this. So, a bit of glue on the tops and the sides, a bit of glue on the tops and the sides. There's one. Two. Now, what we should be able to do now is put some glue on the inside edges, both these, and hope and pray this slots in between nicely. Just about. Come on now. You can do it. Yeah, come on. A little bit extra glue on here. Let's just chuck it on there. Yeah, like I said, I'm sorry about this part. This is the, I don't know what the word is for it, but most precarious part of the build. It should fit on there nicely. You know what I've done. I told you so. I told you a fib. These little engines need to be aligned with the outer edges. Let's see. Made a mess of it now. These little retro thrusters need to be out on the edge. See, sorry about this, it's been a while since I made one, but this is the hardest part. I'm going to show you. Getting all this to line up, and then these little retro thrusters should technically join to the outside edge of that shoulder pad. Like that. No, maybe not. Come on now. I know what I've done. I'm taking out that's wrong. It's because those little inner wings and cut them back enough. So they need to come back a little bit further. I'm just going to guess. Not that much. Let's do it again. Attempt number 4 to glue this thing together properly. On the wrong side. What an amazing tutorial, Alice. I know exactly what you're doing here. This is great. I can follow this step by step and just ruin my models. Yeah, I've completely balls this up. Ah, come on, come on. Alright, that's looking better. You know what? I'm pretty sure I'm supposed to take all of this off. So I'm just going to do it. Like that. Yeah, there we go. Lies right from the start. Alright. We got there. Finally. Whew. I will apologise. Like I said, it's been a while since I made this and I only had one chance at it because I only had enough bits for one more. Okay, we're back. So that should be pretty sturdy now. It's all plastic, which is good. So next we're going to work on stabilising this a little bit more. Oh, I've lost an engine. So next we're going to use our Ghost Keel engines, our little Ghost Keel retro thrusters. We've got a small amount, about a millimetre wide sliver of 7mm plastic tubing. And what we're going to do is we're just going to glue that to the back of here. A little bit of glue, a little bit of glue. Glue those on the sides. We're going to push those up as far as they go. Come on now. It should allow the engines to sit in nicely. Yeah. So, and they'd like just rolling away. So just make sure we got enough glue on those. You'll probably be following my theme now, which is just, yeah, just put loads of glue on. It'll be alright. They'll all come out in the wash. So put that in there nicely. And on that side. There we go. You want just to have a little bit of glue in that corner to help strengthen that up a bit. That's that. Now we'll put a big old dollop in the centre. And we'll glue our little Ghost Keel thrusters in. Okay. Come on now. There we go. And then to help strengthen that up a bit more, I'll put it on the back and on that corner. And then we're going to take our Saar shoulder pads, and they just pop on like so. Just act as a little bit of detailing. There we go. Now we'll do the same on the other side. Okay, there we go. That's that. Next, we're going to take our Broadside knee pad and we're going to shave it down so it's completely flat. So I've just shaved the knee pad down, so that's flush now, and that just a little blob of glue just on the bottom of the chest plate and a bit on the front of that pivot point. Should be able to just get that to sit on there nicely. There we go. That is the majority of the torso now done. Okay, so thanks for watching part 1 of the crisis suit build. Sorry it got a little bit ropey towards the end there. I was doing this from memory, like I said, and I only had one shot at it, so I just had to kind of record and get on with it. So that was part 1. Part 2, we'll be looking at building the plasma rifle, arms, and getting the legs done. But that'll be coming up next.